Hey, welcome everyone to this week's Growing Together. I'm Dustin.
I'm Melissa. This week we're talking about the talents and abilities God has uniquely given you.
That's right. And Pastor David is going to share about how he has learned to use his talents to serve the Lord.
Then he's going to invite you to sign up for our NCC Next class that is being offered next Sunday. A part of this class is completing a shape profile that looks at how God has designed you to serve him and others.
This session is going to be great for you and your team. Enjoy your time together.
Me, sir? Now, I don't have any talents. I have no gifts. I mean, what can I ever do? You're kidding, right? You want me to do what? Now, I don't know if these statements have ever been uttered from your lips, but they most certainly have come from mine. When I first became a Christ follower, there was an expectation that I should be involved. Now, part of that was from the church. Again, an expectation that we should be involved, engaged. We believe that God gives every believer certain spiritual gifts to be used in the church, in the ministry. 1 Corinthians 12, Romans 8, Ephesians 4. Now, the church was smaller, and so we needed help to get things done. I think that was part of it as well. But part of it was me, I admit. All right? I didn't want to just sit around. I didn't want to be a pew potato. That's how someone described it. I wanted to be a good Christian. I wanted to grow. I wanted to do whatever I could to be better. And I'm a bit driven. I want to be successful. I want to achieve. But I was having this problem because I didn't think I had anything to offer. I was new to this whole Christian thing. So I don't know anything about the Bible. I don't know any of the songs they're singing. I felt at times they were using a foreign language because I didn't understand the terminology that everybody was using. And I'm shy, I'm an introvert. So I don't think there's anything that I can do. I mean, I can play baseball, but I'm not sure how that was going to help the church. But there were some key adults in the church. And there was a youth minister and a pastor that they were insistent. They believed in me. They thought I had some talent, that I had some gifts that I could use for God, that I could use for the church. Now, I didn't believe them, but I smiled and I listened. And they continued to teach the Bible. I don't know if this resonates with any of you. Have you ever thought like me that there's nothing that you can do for God, for his church? I mean, you'd like to, but you have nothing. Well, I'm here to tell you, you do have something. We all do. As a Christ follower, it's crucial for us to understand and embrace the fact that we're all unique. That's what I came to the conclusion of, that we all have a purpose in God's plan. Our message this weekend was focused on 1 Corinthians 12. And here Paul uses the analogy of the body to illustrate this truth. And I remember hearing this for the first couple of times, and it resonated. It made sense to me. Yes, all parts are needed for the body to work. I can go along with that. Now, I figured I'm probably part of the small intestine or something like that. So the question was for me is, what does the small intestine do for Jesus? I mean, how does that really look? And I get it. It's by God's design that we have different gifts, different talents, different abilities. But I was still unsure what mine were. But then I was asked to do a couple of things. One thing I was asked right away was to work with the tiny tots. I think that was 3-year-olds. And I enjoyed it. Although they knew more about the Bible than I did, but I was learning, and I think they enjoyed having me around as well. They liked having a high schooler there. I came to a point where I would actually say yes to most things that I was asked from at the church. And because we were a small church and because I was new, I was asked a lot of times. But I came to the point that I thought I would only know whether I was good at something or whether I liked something or whether I should do something is if I said yes and I tried it. And this has been my posture for many years. Now, those who know me know that I'm what you might consider a reluctant pastor. I didn't know if I could do any of this, but I was willing to say yes. I am willing to walk through any door that God opens until he shuts it. And I know that I can show up. I can learn. I can grow. And so that's what I committed to do. And I think that God's honored that in my life, and I think in this church as well. I think I discovered, though, some of my spiritual gifts by actually trying different ministries. And I think all of us can adopt the same posture. Now, I also believe as a church that we've been better at helping people identify their specific gifts and talents. And we're better at giving people opportunities to embrace their uniqueness, embrace their purpose in God's plan. Now, when I first started at the church on staff, at times we would have a need for volunteers. Most often it seemed like it was in the children's area. So we would make these pleas from the pulpit, from up front. We would say, hey, we need help. We just need some warm bodies is often what we would say. I want you to know we do not do this anymore. We don't want just a warm body serving in children's ministry. Hey, if you don't like kids, I don't care how warm your body is. If you don't like kids, that's not good for you to be in the kids ministry. And it's not good for you either. We want people serving in children's ministry who actually like kids. Now, if you don't know whether or not you like kids, we want you to try it out in a supervised way, and then you can decide. And if the answer is no, hey, no worries. But we have some other areas that we need that can align maybe with your gifts and your talents. Now, I will also add this. I'm not sure I know of anybody who has a spiritual gift of cleaning toilets, all right? But I do know that toilets have to be clean. Nowadays, we actually hire that out, but you know what I'm saying, right? There are things that need to be done in the church and in the kingdom that aren't maybe about talents and gifts. Really, it's about servanthood. And so we serve because that's what we're called as Christ followers. So I'm asking you, are you ready to serve? Are you ready to say yes? Are you ready to walk through the door until God closes it? I hope that you're ready.